UFC Fight Night Walt Harris vs Alistair Overeem is done, and I'm here to talk about the main event itself and the top 5 fights of the night. Number 5th on this list is Angela Hill vs Claudio Gadelha. Now this was a good fight, and the first round unequivocally belonged to Claudio Gadelha because she had the better of the striking exchanges, and midway through the first round she pushed Angela Hill up against the fence and then took her down and kept her there till the very end of the first round. However, early in the second round, Angela Hill dropped Claudio Gadelha and then dominated the second round with her striking. The third round was the most difficult one to judge, but if I had to give it to someone, I would have given it to Angela Hill because she was the one pressuring and she was the one leading the dance and she was the one who landed a few more significant strikes. Therefore, I would have given it to Angela Hill, but the judges didn't see it my way and they gave the win to Claudio Gadelha. I don't understand why Claudia Gadelha didn't really look for takedowns after she was dropped in the second round, because she had success with the one takedown she was managed to pull off. I think her ego was hurt and she wanted to win the fight on her feet. Anyway, she got the job done. I thought Angela Hill won the fight, but 2 out of 3 judges did not agree with me. Number 4th on this list is the fight between Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris, and this fight did not last very long, but it was fun and intriguing from bell to bell. This was the big ticket's first fight after the loss of his daughter, which is just a terrible thing for anyone to go through, and no one should go through that sort of a tragedy. And it must have caused Walt a great deal of pain and emotional distress, and for him to step back inside the octagon after something like that happened to him, and that too against a guy like Overeem, deserves respect. I kind of felt bad for Alistair Overeem as well, because there were moments where he looked like he didn't really want to go all out on Walt Harris and didn't look very pleased with what he had to do. I think almost everyone wanted Walt Harris to win this fight, even Overeem himself, because the man needed a win at this point. Anyway, early in the first round, Walt Harris dropped Overeem and Dan Miragliotta gave every chance for Overeem to recover, and he did recover and then took Walt Harris to the ground and then kept him there till the very end of the first round. Then in the second round, Overeem caught Walt Harris with a high kick, dropped him, took his back and grounded and pounded his way to victory. As I said, this was a tough spot for Alistair Overeem because he didn't really look like he wanted to do what he was doing even when he had Walt Harris flattened out. He didn't go all out on his ground and pound because after every 2 punches he would look up at Dan Miragliotta to stop the fight because he didn't want to beat up Walt Harris any more than it was necessary. But props to Walt Harris for stepping inside the octagon after such a tragedy, and I hope he does well in his next fight. Is it just me or Matt Brown kind of looks like Ray Reynolds? But anyway, number 3 on this list is the fight between Matt Brown vs Miguel Baeza. Now this fight was on the prelims, but it was an awesome fight and it did not last very long. It lasted only for about 6 minutes, but for the entirety of the fight, it was a back and forth slugfest. Matt Brown hurt Miguel Baeza in the first round with a straight right and then just teed off on him and hit him with some brutal elbows, but Miguel Baeza has a nice chin on him because he did not go down. As I was thinking that Matt Brown is going to win this fight in the first round, Miguel Baeza dropped him with a right hook but couldn't finish the job in the first round. However, in the second round, Matt Brown leg kicked Baeza but dropped his guard, and that was all that Miguel Baeza needed and caught him with a left hook and knocked out Matt Brown. Number 2 on this list is the fight between Edson Barboza and Dan Ige, and this was a great stand-up fight. Both the fighters started the first round swinging, especially Dan Ige because he was hitting Edson Barboza with some really hard punches, but it was Edson Barboza that dropped Dan Ige when he hit him with an elbow and then followed it up with a right hook right to the temple. And after Dan Ige was on the ground, Barboza was able to hit him with a few hammer fists as well, but he wasn't able to finish Dan Ige in the first round. Now the first round was kind of close in the striking department, but because Edson Barboza dropped Dan Ige, I would give this round to Edson Barboza. The second round was pretty close as well, but I would give it to Edson Barboza because he was able to stuff Dan Ige's takedown attempts and he was able to hurt Dan Ige with a body kick. The third round started with the same story, with both guys trying to knock each other out and punch equaling punch, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, Dan Ige took Edson Barboza down and kept him there till the very end of the fight. Which is why I think Dan Ige won the third round, and going into the decision I thought Barboza would win this match, but the decision left a sour taste in my mouth because the judges awarded the victory to Dan Ige. At least 2 out of 3 judges awarded the victory to Dan Ige. And number 1 on this list is the fight between Nate Landwehr and Dan Elkins, and this was a crazy fight. It was a total bloodfest. Both of them brutalized each other, especially Nate Landwehr, because he cut Dan Elkins up right above the eye and on the forehead, and from those cuts, Dan Elkins was bleeding profusely throughout the fight, but he was still trading with Nate Landwehr and was not slowing down. It was just a crazy fight because throughout the fight, Nate Landwehr was calling out Dana White while he was trading punches with Darren Elkins, and it was just an awesome fight and definitely the fight of the night for me. This fight did go the distance and the judges awarded the victory to Nate Landwehr, and this was such a good fight and such a close fight that I wouldn't have been mad at the result if it had gone either way.